Hello and welcome to Fearless DIY Music. My name is Tristan Lass, and today I'd like to talk about Eddie Van Halen and Eddie Van Halen tribute guitars. So anyway, my own perception of Eddie was basically the same as everybody else my age. I was born in the early 70s, so as I was growing up, I heard Van Halen on the radio as each of their songs came out, and with every iteration of the band and their musical development. So I was captivated as a young person by Eddie's playing and by his stage presence and by the look of his guitar. I mean, come on, we all loved the way that those Frankenstrats looked. They looked amazing, especially the primary one, Frankie. Just a beautiful instrument. And the fact that, he made it himself, not really knowing what he was doing at first, and just kind of put it all together, probably drinking a lot of beers while he was doing it and having a good time. There's a sense of fun. There's a sense of play with that instrument. And it is highly unique. It is unique to him. It is an extension of his imagination and his creativity. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the tribute guitars because I find it very interesting sometimes. I get that people want to own a piece of their hero or have something that their hero had. I get it. I get the urge and the desire to own an EVH replica guitar. I understand that completely. When Eddie passed a few years ago, I got kind of that itch. I looked around the studio and I was like, I don't have a single humbucker Strat style guitar with a Floyd Rose on it and a maple neck. And I really, I was thinking about maybe getting a Kramer Beretta and hot rodding that to make something cool as kind of an Eddie tribute type guitar. And then as time went on, I kind of came up with this. This is my version of an EVH tribute guitar because it's true to myself, but it does have the basic bones and DNA of the classic single pickup Eddie Van Halen Super Strat. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Is it better to kind of make your own thing and follow your own, follow your own creative muse to develop a guitar akin to Eddie's, or are some people just happy just having the replicas? I found for myself that having a replica probably wasn't going to feel right. It would feel like I was being an imposter or something. And, I am no great guitar player. I'm a very adequate guitar player, but I'm not a great guitar player. And I would never pretend to be anywhere near the class or skill level to be able to play Eddie licks very efficiently, just right on the spot. So, when I was 14, I learned how to play a fair bit of Eruption and could pull that off fairly well. But beyond that, I never did anything to try to play or be like Eddie Van Halen, while simultaneously always admiring him. Both, he had some shortcomings as a person every once in a while, but overall, I think he was a good person. I think he was a good dad, and I think that he was kind of a class act. And so anyway, I ended up making this after Eddie passed as kind of like my tribute to the idea of what an EVH guitar is. I had an old Strat. This is a Dean Strat body I had laying around. I made this neck from scratch out of a piece of hard rock maple from some heirloom furniture that my wife's family had. And then I put a Floyd on it. I have a single volume control. This is a push-pull. When it's in the down position, it is in parallel. When it's up, it's in series or single via this little toggle here. I usually just keep it down in the parallel mode. I prefer it because this is a pretty high output humbucker. Humbucker was something I had in a parts drawer. And then when I painted it, I used tempera paint because this is my favorite color. And I didn't have a rattle can of this color, but I had a bunch of tempera paint. So I painted it with that and then clear coated it. And let me tell you, don't ever do that. So I did kind of my own, thrown together thing. Very much like how Eddie threw together his guitars. And I'm super happy with it. And it makes me feel like, I'm kind of paying homage to him, but without copying directly. And I'm not putting down people who are, like I said, really want the replica stuff and really like to shred Eddie Van Halen licks. My hat's off to you for having the ability to play like that. I just wanted to do something that was kind of true to myself, but also simultaneously true to the spirit of Eddie Van Halen. So maybe we'll take a little listen to the guitar. Right now I'm clean. I'm going to move my foot pedal over here. Right now I'm clean. And that's in the parallel mode. When I pull it up, we'll see if I'm in single or series. This is single right here. And then that will be your classic series. Little bit of weirdness there. Just a cool little kind of atonal thing I've been messing with. All right, I'm going to go back down to my parallel mode, put on a little bit of dirt. And that gives you a little sense of what the instrument sounds like. I just really enjoy playing this guitar. Like I said, just fun for me to play the way that I play on an instrument that I made myself to kind of my own spec and to the kind of spirit and, you know, the ethos of what Eddie Van Halen would do. He built his own stuff. He went out in the garage, he grabbed some beers, and he just pounded out guitars and amazing riffs and songs. You know, I no longer drink, but I drank a lot of sparkling water while I was building this instrument and had a very good time doing it. And to have something that I made myself with kind of Eddie in my brain the whole time was super fun and very rewarding for me. So anyway, I would like to thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. If you have, I would appreciate a subscribe. Subscribes are going up and the channel is growing. I have some new things planned and coming soon that are going to be super interesting, I hope, for everybody. And we need to get those subscriptions up so that we can break through to some other new cool things that I can do with YouTube once I hit certain numbers. I hate to be about the numbers, but unfortunately that's how, you know, I can unlock more things that will make the channel more interactive. So, like, subscribe, share, and please, in the comments, tell me all about your Eddie Van Halen guitar, if you have one, or if you desire one, or if you're thinking about making one. I mean, you don't have to be a super fan to admire the man, because he was an incredible player. All right. You take care, and we'll be back next time with more content.